just going to see if this is working. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so I've put this on to go live. There's a new live dashboard which I never used before. I've been doing it a completely different way, and it looks pretty cool. I don't know whether it's when it started recording me. You know, I've been on, like I put it go live, and then it's gone on to here. So that should be all right. Now I'm just going to copy the live link wherever I can find that. Oh yeah, they made that pretty easy as well. Live link, put that onto Artstation. It is raining outside and I've just got in, so okay, let's put on an image. Ooh. Okay, I need to find a new live stream image because I'm live streaming in Bledner. And apparently that does not work. You know, because now I'm using it in Bledner. My original image said going live in Substance. I just want to quickly save an image to upload that to. See if this one works. Okay, nice. Stolen off Google, but I don't think an Artstation update post is exactly, well, copyright infringement. Well, there you go. Okay, so that's uploaded. This stream should be working, and now I want to talk about what I want to do, which is essentially just creating some more. So I've got a chair here, I've also got a pedestal, and what I want to go for next is the desk, the main desk. So I've got the rough scale of it. I just need to find the right reference, which is what I've got inside my. Yeah, there's a few here that I just want to drag, especially that one. Drag along with these. I mean, there's aspects I'm going to be taking from, even though you can look at chairs, but you know, there's certain things that you can just take from it. And time is very slim. You can see on my clock that it is 4 PM, and I've not done any work today. I didn't do any yesterday, and there's only like 8 days left. So, and I've still got things like this to create, but I'm going to focus on the desk and hopefully get at least two more props done, like in the next day or two, this weekend, and then I can move on to the slightly more interesting props. Like, well, I've got to do some scrolls, which I haven't done yet, and then I can get on to the more interesting stuff, which is just going to fill out the room, and then next weekend's going to be pretty much rendering and VFX pass, so not very much time at all. Right, so in the actual concept, it's pretty much just a block. In the breakdown, we got some reference down here. I think I actually have that exact reference somewhere. It's all over the place, really. It's fairly certain that I had that exact reference on a larger image. I can't see it right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had that. Just gonna give it one final look. I'll take out some of these, I'm slowly sort of just taking out ones that are more relevant to what I'm doing and just moving them, because originally it was just a big cluster of whatever images I wanted, and now I'm trying, yeah, that's a good one, and now I'm just splitting them up so that I can keep them up on my second screen, and I'm not going to go anywhere near any ornate details. I'll put some in Substance Painter, but I mean, if you do look at that main concept as well, it's the lights everything's silhouetted pretty much, apart from by candlelight. So really, I'm not that bothered about any detail. This scene was really cool, Dumbledore's office. I'll have these sort of bevels and these edges, and I'll do something like that in Painter. But I'm not going to do this, because even though, you know, because I need to then make a high poly model. I don't really want to make a high poly model. I could try and model it, but then it would just take more time. Let's see. Final look through these in case there's anything interesting. I mean, what I really wanted was scrolls. I've got books, but I wanted scrolls to be made before this asset, so that I could just so I could have like scrolls poking out the drawers and all that sort of stuff. But I'll just get started with sort of the top of this one, I guess. Once I can find one that's a little bit better. It's just they all seem to have that same sort of rounded bevel. A double layered bevel. Yeah, let's get the main shape in. I think this desk is actually, it's going to be one solid object. It's going to be a big block. I'm not sure if I want to have a midsection. I'll just test it. I'm not sure if I want to have like a mid bit going in. Oh, I'll put on screencast keys actually as well if I've got that somewhere. Let's see. I've got it somewhere. Keys. Shape keys. Testing. No, I don't think I've got screencast keys installed. Okay, so just have to know Blender, I guess. If you're, you know, ask questions in the chat if you're not sure what I'm doing. I think I will go like this. I made a stylized chest like absolutely ages ago, and it was one of the ones with a bit that goes inwards, so you can put your chair right up. But the actual reference, I'm pretty sure, is just it's more something like, well, it's just a solid thing, not like that. I think I'll mostly follow that one. That one makes sense. It's quite rounded on the edges, so I might start off with that straight away. Get that on the right angle. Let's do this. All I can hear is seagulls and cars beeping. It always annoys me that because I've got all that extra, because I've got the extra detail there. It's, when I expand this, it doesn't like it, so I'm going to do it uniformly. Like, good point. Oh god, no. Go 1.05. I don't mind it being quite pronounced. I'm just going to try and match that by eye. I'm going to move these back inwards. straight away I'll go for a mirror actually, if I move these back. I usually like, even though I don't need to at this point, I like going mirror and put it straight onto bisect, because and then you just need to find out what side that you've actually mirrored. So I can see that it's this side. If I grab this side, it doesn't do anything. And that helps with things like now if I grab this face and I inset it, you don't have to sort anything out. It'll mirror that still. Whereas if there was, like, imagine a mirror in the middle. If you imagine a mirror down the middle and you were insetting half of it, then you'd get that, and you'd have to delete. You have to delete a face and then move it and sort things out like that to create the same shape. Which is not what you want. I'm still going to put a mirror in the middle so I know where my midline is. That open on the other page. I've gone too far with this because it also needs an extra one. Needs that doubleness. Yeah, so I need to do this side. Because it's so rounded, I think I'll do it straight away. That doesn't look right. Because then everything that I do has to fit within the correct sort of space. Things going that way. So whatever I do past that point, it doesn't matter. Past the midway line, it's being mirrored. Mind. That needs straightening out again. If I just grab all of the vertices till there. That's that. And then this was quite beveled, which is why I added them in, because it's going to go, you know, because I'm going to need something like that. Not sure if I want to do that yet though. This top bit, there's not much else to it other than being like this. And we'll just add a quick, it's not 100%, I don't want to round it too much. And then I'm going to separate that from the top anyway, because it's just, that's how it's built. It's, you know, it's a separate thing on top of other things, so that's how that looks. And let's grab the top. And the new remove doubles is in Alt M now, so well, it's not called remove doubles anymore, so that's pretty cool. I'll just completely separate it, because again that is how it is physically constructed. And the top is just going to be pretty much flat. I don't know about... It's got one of those separate pedestals. It's got one of those separate book things on it. much like that one actually. I like that that one's got a room for books behind it. This one that I already made, so I might just end up copying the top off my other pedestal. See if that'd work. So if I grab this and I just duplicate that, move that into my there is a lot of things here I'm blanked. Oh, there it is. Wood desk. Move that down, and it's something that goes on top, so I'm just gonna, and it's a fair bit longer as well. Probably shouldn't have rotated it, but I'm not changing it very much, so let's have a look at this. Let's take everything on the right side there and just extend it a little bit, and I'll hopefully that pivot point's in the right place. I'll give it a mirror. Okay, so it's quite long. I'm not sure if I want it to be that long. I am changing it because it's a slightly different design. I think I'll add on that book thing that was on the back of it. I'll give it an extra ring loop. Oh yeah, and what you'll notice with this is I've not even optimized it at all. I don't, you know, I'm making this for a cinematic. If this was, I mean, thankfully I didn't optimize it, because if I'd optimized it without creating a high poly or any other, if I'd optimized it and I hadn't done it the way that I did, which is just leave all the loops how they were, then I wouldn't be able to edit it right now and change it to whatever I want. So thankfully I did not. Don't really want to model that. Try and find that. There's a lot of that shape going on, so I'm going to duplicate that as well. Still wishing I didn't rotate it. I mean, I can just Alt-R it, it's fine. Let's clear those normals. Is there anything more advanced I could do with that? Maybe if I just shrunk that a little bit. Alright. I'm thinking of just getting this and I think I'll just paint something on it in Painter at the end, or maybe if I get this and just do this sort of a frame. Again, I'm pretty much just doing random things, and I'm not focused on too much about how it I'll definitely submit it. I'm not saying I'm going to finish it. I'm definitely going to submit it as finished. I'll have a video, and then I'll take a break, and I'll come back to it if I like it. You know, I'm pretty much just doing it, and I'll definitely say that it's, you know, I'll submit it as finished for sure. I'm not gonna avoid that. I'm gonna put something on Painter on that. Separate this because it is separate. Should be mirrorable. Mirrorable. And I'll bring it across the top. Don't really need that middle line at all. Don't need any of these lines. And so I'll do something a little bit like that at the back of that. Don't know if I'll end up, I mean it's already completely different. I'll bring it in. This is like a hollow. This isn't like, because the other type has like a hinge thing sort of here. This is like just a hollow thing that you put on, that you move around a lot, I guess. So that's mirror. Let's finish putting this over the top. Without the twist. Not bothered about seams at the moment, or sharp. What's that? Mark sharp from vertices? I have no idea what that is. So yeah, I'm doing that because that's an ongoing sort of theme. You can see it in the concept. There's that shape there, and also sneakily put into that. That's just the same. Oh, I don't have that. I don't have that object at the moment. That's another one that I have not done. That I will need to do. Quills, candles. Yeah. So I mean, the image definitely doesn't have this inner section, so I'm not sure if I want it or not. Might just get rid of it, or maybe not, I don't know. Seems annoying to sit at a desk that doesn't have the inny bit. the bit that goes inwards. We'll carry on. Keep carrying on. So this is going to have to be. Have to be separate so that I can round that bit. And then these bits are inset, like so. Okay, I'll skip that top bit, and the bottom bit needs a bit of room. That inwards, outwards, and just before the outer one. Get rid of the doubles there. It's probably too far out. Whole mid-sections too long. Just grab them. Grab all these vertices here. Bring it in. And it's the same. Ooh, something like that. Just gonna copy it and apply, and then I'll get the same. So copy, apply. I'll get the same, because it's bisecting, so I'll have exactly where I was. It's like saving, it's like resetting the progress or whatever. I don't know. Inset, I'm not too fussy about them all being the same length. I mean, this is like slightly bigger. I'll have it being not exactly in line. Doesn't particularly bother me. I'll do the same thing. Okie dokie. Smooth. Delete these bottom faces, just not needed. Auto smooth. Oof, almost 2 AM. I don't know where you are in the world, but I do the exact same thing anyway. I think, yeah, if I see like a good live stream on it, like from like Unreal or something like that, I'll tend to just watch it. But will you be able to finish? You should have research a little bit on props references. Yeah, seagulls. I think there's like a seagull nest outside, like on top of the building opposite. You should have a research little bit on props references. I mean, I've got a ton of reference right here. I've got 2 screens, so So that's what. So yeah, just a ton of reference. So if you see me looking that way, I'm just looking at the other screen, looking at my reference, or I'm looking at these looking at the chat. And okay, I'll try and not be so lazy, and I'll instead, because on my reference, on the actual reference, this is drawers on the reference, but I feel like it's not drawers inside the well, inside the world. I mean, you know, with the actual desk in the world, it's not drawers. It's more like this one at the front when it's got that sort of stuff going on. I don't think there's loads of drawers there. It's quite low. I mean, it's very. I mean, maybe it's not that low. I think that chair's just very tall. Because that should be standing height. So yeah, that seems about right. And now I've lost track of where grease pencil is. Oh, there it is. It's not called that anymore. Annotations. We'll see. I'll put in a little something here. Yeah, it's going to be split into two. I'll just do it. It's going to mess things up. So I don't want to bevel just yet, but I do kind of want to. What I'm going to want to do is put that into a big grid. Yeah, so what I did previously, rather than doing what I was just about to do, I think I'll just do it on the surface. Previous Max. Right, now won't be able to stream for positioning software. So annoying. Yeah, I was at university as well. As a student, I had to learn 3ds Max, and then the company that I actually went to started using Maya, so I had to use Maya, or I had to learn Maya, but I'd always just be using Blender anyway, and it was complained about, but now Blender's got all this stuff. It's got support from Unreal. It's got you know, releasing this new update and all this sort of, you know, there's just a lot going on. So I think it's definitely not a bad thing to be switching softwares. Just depends what the job requires. So I'm going to go with something like that. Oh my god, I can't select it. Separate it. see what happens if I circle this again. Yep, seagulls, police cars. That is pretty much what you're going to hear. A lot of police. Circle that twice. I'm just wondering whether I can... Meh, just delete that. Seagulls and police cars. I'm not going to do anything too fancy. Just try and find something that's achievable in a short amount of time. Yeah. I find it easier to extrude that way and then to extrude normals and then to extrude this way. And then just delete that. Carry on. I'm going to bevel that one because I want something going down the middle. Let's see if I can just... let's see if I can... I think you can just set origin with, with W now. Set origin to 3D cursor. No, not you. Not you. Just you. And then what's that on? Mirror bisect. That should be working. So now if I grab this, it's doing it on both. It's going to be very unscientific because I do not mind. And for I am making it, I'm just not bothered. Not too bothered. Okay, edge loops, delete that one, just bring this back down. Just try a little something like that. You know, I'm just doing what that does. So, goes up that way, comes down, and then there's two of these inner rings, which I think I'll just somehow copy this top bit. It creates some interesting things actually. Oops. Pretty much just really putting whatever I can together. I can merge them. It's pretty cool. Sort that out. anything from that point can be going away. Well, I'll just get rid of it all and oops. I think I removed too much information there, but whatever. Can you tell that I am just doing it? Not much thought going into it. Just getting on with it. Probably okay. Just okay. See what happens if I bevel this. And then with this, it's going to be bevel like an inverted one, like extremely, I don't know, 2.5. I assure you I might delete that in a minute. Probably delete the whole thing. Don't need some part of it just needs smoothing and I'll come back to it. I'll pretty much just keep it as a. I'll keep it in mind as, you know, if I've got time to improve it, then I will. But for now, I'll have to deal with that. How it is. Oops. Quite like this actually. There's a lot of stuff going on here. That was a good reference. Too complex for what I want to do. Probably not bad. Could do that. But really, I mean, it's just stuff like this. It's not like that's flat. That's just I can put that on in Painter. This is the kind of stuff that I was trying to do, but it's like I'm not got enough time for that. I guess Merlin just doesn't have the finest furniture. finest quality of furniture. I'll see if I can. See if I can really quickly just try and create. No, I don't know how to go about any of it really. Well, see if I can just create that pattern just a little bit. See if this works. So going like that. See what happens if I. Oh, it doesn't like that. That's because of the profile. Yes. So it doesn't like that. So we'll go across the top again and delete, and we'll try it one more time. Yeah. Delete the midsection here. That don't look right at all. X. Well, this was. Delete that. Midsection did not look right if I just delete that, but maybe it's close enough. Oopsie daisy. take just a ring out of this. Just find out what of these that was. And I convert it to a curve. Just name it real quick. And we'll see if this works. If not, then I don't really mind. There you go. There you go. Oops, keep hitting H rather than G. There's going to be a lot of polys. That's exactly why it should be a high poly model, but I'm just going to auto LOD it. Let's just do like 50. X. We'll just do it around the corner. Yeah. Doesn't even have to be around the corners actually. We'll do like 40. So there was really no need for it to be on a curve in the end. No need at all. So that's still separate. We'll do a mirror. If I do an extra mirror now, after all of that, bisect, mirror this object, after all of that, and that should be exactly even. Sort out whatever middle one might be messed up. Good enough. And that's all I need. Good enough. If this was a high poly model, then I would just bevel this and whatever. But as discussed, it is not a high poly model. It's going to be a high poly model, it's just not going to be used as a high poly model. E. What the? God dang it. Gee. What's going on here? Oh. What's going on over here? Okay. I don't know, does that set it apart? Do I like it? Probably not. Back to the reference. There is a little, so this bit here can be extruded. And this is still mirrored. I'm gonna give this little inset. And it's sort of just a lazy detail that I've been putting onto all of my stuff. So for a case of consistency, I'm gonna do another little lazy detail, which is it's like a beveled all the way around. Not even beveled on the edges. Just delete those back ones. That needs smoothing and weighting. Keep sharp. There we go. Working with it being weighted, smoothed and weighted. Now the back's going to be really boring, the side's really boring. Not that it really needs much going on. Just more insets, something to go with. You know, more of this sort of stuff. And that just keeps it consistent, I suppose. Yeah, really not much goes on. I mean, like the front's sort of detailed. It's got those insets. I'll do 2 insets here. Wait, wrong side. Do it on this side. And we'll do the, or maybe I'll make it just a little bit more fancy. So that one will go outwards, and it'll be the usual beveled. Doubles. Actually, I can imagine that. Alright, so yeah, another. It's got an extra bit of room between those. Just how basically I'm putting the detail in for how it's going to be unwrapped rather than. Because when I unwrap this, you'll get wood grain that goes that way, and then you'll get wood grain that goes that way, and just creating the difference there. Shouldn't be too bad. So this is all going to be unwrapped. It's the same thing. I mean, I'm benefiting that this is already mostly unwrapped, so I just need to hit unwrap on that, and I could add a little extra to it. I don't know if anyone is watching. Is this ugly? Is it unacceptable? Or is it, or will it do the job? You know, when it's textured, there's going to be an ambient occlusion sort of darkness in there, so it's not going to look like it's completely separate to the model. So if anyone is watching, I would appreciate dropping into the chat with any opinions so far. Really, again, we are getting it done, but Yeah, I'm just getting it done really. I think I'll do that on both sides, even though it's going to triple the poly count, you know. Reference, so I stole the top bit from that. I don't want to do draws, so I've got mostly, like, so the top of this is the top of what I've got. All these draws, I don't want them, but I took this middle section and I've taken this side, and the top section here I've replaced with wait, you're hearing me ahead of it? My voice is faster than what? And then I've taken the top bit here, and as far as those details go, it is just from Dumbledore's office. See all this sort of stuff, it's got a lot of detail, but the front bit is in reference it's there, it's just the tops of these I can see. So they're a little bit thicker. I'm gonna, oh no, I was gonna do something like that, but I'm not bothered. I can't see anywhere that it would fit in, you know. Could maybe put like an extrude, well I could extrude this bit as well. I could do a little bit of that. Let's see how that looked if I put more ring loops in. And have an extra. Very grand. What is it? It's like down here. An extra loop in there. Grab those. Just piling up the polys. Why not? Think of it as a character. You know, characters these days, they get all the polys. Cool. Yeah, cheers, dude. Yeah, again, it's a quick thing, and when it's textured and you've got the, you know, it all feels a bit more cohesive than just having, something random just poking out like that. Like that stands out so much as a separate object. But when it's actually textured and such, and it's all got the exact same, you know, wood texture, you're only going to see it when the light's shining on it. And then I can separately put some textured symbols and extra detail behind it if it still doesn't work. Or as a movie person would say, fix it in post. Basically, fix it in post. I'm wondering whether it should just be a little. Oh, I can't really do that very easily. I'm just gonna see if I can grab those and just create a better separation between that section. Like, oopsie daisy. Extruding that Ooh, that's weird. What am I on right now? Medium point. Ooh, yeah, just create an extra little difference there. Separate that off. And for consistency, I shall do it here as well. Should just make it easier to unwrap and also allows separation of materials, perhaps. Not sure I can delete that one. Just this one. Yeah, I mean it looks like a desk to me. I'll just do something different here. I'll extrude that inwards. Maybe I'll just mirror it. I'll just mirror it. Why not? I'm going from like 20,000 polys. I could bake it, but yeah. Just mirror it. Why not? Why not? Who doesn't like an insanely high poly desk? And once the LOD system's on it, like just having these details, really, especially for cinematic, is not gonna affect a gosh darn thing. It's probably too small for books to hold in the back of that, but I could, when I make scrolls, I can fill some scrolls into this section and have some just all over the place. And that's where the candle is roughly, and yeah, the candle's there, quill, other random little things. Yeah, no, I think it's, well, I mean, yeah, so like if I was making this for a game at the moment, I'd probably just cap this off, you know, put a face in there and have this part only appear in the high poly in the bake, and no one would ever know, you know, no one would ever care whether it's poly or not. I mean, it being poly will actually just allow me to get much closer to this, which is, you know, if it ends up looking really nice on top of the desk, I'm not saying it will because of the limited time, but if it does end up looking alright with all the props on top of it, then this will allow me to get quite a lot closer if the arrangement is nice. If it's not, then I'll just be flying around the ceilings, pretty much. We'll put some depth of field on so you can't even see anything within a meter of the camera. Okay, so really now it's just the back section here. I don't really want to do unwrapping on stream, so I'll probably skip. Once I've finished this, I'll get a drink. Yeah, once I've finished this little bit, I'll just pause the stream for a moment. I'll just put up a little screen while I get a drink, and then I'll move over to doing the small chest, which is just this sort of stuff over here, which is referenced. Yeah, some of this stuff. Probably that one. Doesn't look too advanced. Just a very low res image though, so. Okay, yes, my desk. Oh, that's weird. Just put that into desk. My desk does need feet. Or is it? It'd be good to see underneath it. I mean, not see underneath it, but like it's like good to see some light coming through that way. So what I'm going to do is have a look at some real ones, and I'll go back to that reference that I had and just finish off those things that I were half finished with a more accurate shape. I want to be lost. No. Yeah. I mean, even if this was baked, it would be 1,000 times better, because I'm not going to bevel these. And the only reason I'll bevel it is because I want to bring in these here. I think I'll get away with that, actually, like that. Well, I'll only... Terrible modelling practices. I'm not exactly making this for people to to 100%. I mean, I'm really just getting things done here, so I mean, I wouldn't. Whereas that's the most efficient way, because I don't want to, I don't want to have to bevel it all the way around there. So beveling it like that, whereas it's an ugly, and if I now want to put ring loops in that way, I can't, and all that sort of stuff. It's just a lot better on the short term for me. So that is what I'm doing. If I came back to this and I knew... I'm just explaining it. I mean, this is going to be on YouTube afterwards as well, so it's going to be up on my channel. So it's like, I'm just thinking about people coming back to it in when the challenge is long gone, and it's just like, although even then, actually, that far in the future, probably don't even need to high poly and low poly things anymore. You're just gonna, run it through the high poly machine or whatever, and just it does it for you, and then just low polys your model, and it unwraps it, and all the stuff that kind of you don't have to do because of the just all that stuff that's just done, that can be procedurally worked out. That is a lot. That's not even seagulls, that is just scousers outside. I am half scouse, so I'm not gonna... I need to... So I've got the pass. Okay, alright, the back is going to be really basic. Need to do something with it, but I mean, that's the back of the desk. I've got way more sort of... It just looks like a lot. It looks like detail, and it's really just not very much going on. Need to do something with the back. And I don't really want to copy those across. I could do that, like I could just cut out this whole section, cut out that, and then sort of array it around the back. But I don't think I'm bothered about doing that. The back can just be left less ornate. I mean, the key shot that we're seeing is going to be on the front, although I am going to have a lot of shots from the back because I've made that look alright. Oh, and I realise I've not really checked how I'm in frame. Oh yeah, it's all good, I guess. Okie dokie. Get out the back. I think it would just look a lot better if I just got this and just somehow ripped it off the front. So here we go. Let's isolate that, and I only need up to there. Don't need any of that, just that. Don't need that. And let's see if I can extend this around the back. Still got that. I've still got that what do you call it? What do I call it? Oh, the curve. Still got the desk curve, so I could try and use that. I just if I do the exact same thing I did earlier, get that there. Well, that's going to mess up my mirror. Mirror the desk instead. Let's try it real quick. Let's put a curve modifier on it. I mean, it's got to be below the mirror. And we're doing desk curve. Interesting. Pointless, I think. Not worth. I thought it would just magically align it, but apparently not. No magic alignment. Let's see if this works. I'll swap this over to be right back. I'm just going to pour a drink. I'm not sure if my mic would still be on. See, I'm just, while I was just pouring my drink, like I've done the most boring bits to me. Like, well, the environment's really cool, but I like doing the environment bits. Props are kind of fun, but it's like there's so many. And then but I want to get around to just like actually making it look like this with some of this smoke and cobwebs, you know, which will probably be next week, I'll make a stream. I'll do some cobwebs in Substance Designer. But I'm just looking at that sort of stuff. It's going to take only 9 days left, so okay. Here we go. Let's just snap that line. Let's inset. Let's get an edge and just remove all this stuff. Oops. Okay, it's all gone. Just get rid of that one. And ideally I want to snap active. So on my snapping, move it to active. Oops, and just get that in line with that. Should be alright. And really, actually, apart from I want to sort of array this, but earlier on in the chain, I'm going to array this by -1 apparently. Until I guess not like that, more like that. Yeah, that's more like it. So I guess this needs to move along until that point. Let's turn it off active to closest again. Still haven't thought about how I'm going to do the bottom of this. It does need to be raised off the floor. I'm just thinking it's going to be like a thick bit of wood on the bottom that just kind of does, you know, curves into the feet of the thing. Nothing nothing fancy. I mean, I can see that this one's got a little bit of a fancy foot, but the rest of it, I've done things like, you know, the legs are like this, and in the end that's painted as metal, and that was directly stolen from the chair, you know. So this desk is going to be something similar, because it doesn't feel right if it just went straight into the floor. I mean, how would you even pick it up as well? Pick it up and move it. Magic. Okay, well that should, because of that extra bevel that I had, because of this extra bevel around here, this actually just fits in. I mean, it's weird that they stick out like that, so I might just want to curve that off. I think I will. Well, not got very much room to do so. Oh, no, it's the top here. I might just grab them and grab that as well. Multi-object editing is amazing. Grab all them. That. Okay. And I'm going to bevel. Just I didn't like it being they shouldn't be smooth. I don't know, I think that bevel helps it out. A lot of this is going to be sharp edges, because I mean it's like, well, it's actually it's what it's, well, I mean it's 30,000 tries. You can see it on the bottom right there. 15, you know, or 14,000 faces. I have never finished a Blender project. Beginner here. Why is that? I have no power for that or something like that. Did you come here from the? If you haven't come here from the Artstation challenge, this is just part of an ongoing Artstation challenge, and I've started about 5 of them, perhaps, and I've finished 1 of them. So you can see in my challenges, I've got this one that I'm doing right now, and then I've got the other one before. But before this, I'd done the Wild West one. I'd done whatever Cyberpunk one or whatever that one was, and I just hadn't finished them. So by the time I got around to this one, I was like, no matter what, I mean, only 50, I've got more likes on this one than so it's getting more attention, which it's annoying that helps. It's annoying that you shouldn't be looking out for that, but it's like I don't finish it, and then I guess sometimes you just need a little push, like put yourself on the like doing this and going on live streams and stuff. It makes it feel like it's more important. On the previous ones that I did, it's like it doesn't feel that important, so it's like so I don't finish them, but I try and make it feel as if like so that just stops me being so lazy, really. But that's what I do. It's probably not a healthy thing to do, but it's what I do. Because I think it does helps that it kicks you into working a little bit more, and it gets you talking with everybody else, which is good. I think definitely I try and pop on and go and look at other people's submissions. I was just looking at that one, looking at this one. Like I usually just get commenting and talking with people that are doing really well and see what's going on. Yeah, just a little push. Although what I did experiment with this last thing that I did, this airport tug pushback. What I experimented with this is just not showing anyone until it was done, because I was trying to get away from posting, because I'd always post constant updates. But definitely if you can't try it, you should try out getting involved with challenges and stuff just to push you to do more work. And then what I'm trying to do is now I'm trying to step away from that, and I'm trying to do things and keep it secret for a long time. I mean, that's what you got to do in your job anyway, your day-to-day job, if you're in the industry. But for my personal work, yeah, I'd like to start creating things sort of and motivate myself rather than have to post an update just to see if people like it or not. I don't know. This is looking like it is almost on its way. I think the only thing I'm going to do is... Oh well, I'm not going to unwrap it on stream as I said earlier. Yeah, I've got to do those feet still. Yeah. So I've got to do the feet. Should be alt duplicating this. Clearly not the same distance. majorly eyeballing this, just not even, no accuracy. I think that'll do. I'd really want to like I really want to if it, you know, I really want to model this in, you know. I could, when I had it at the poly phase, you know, when it was like a thin strip, I could have just sort of inset that into the original shape and then modelled it, and you know, done some cool stuff with booleans. You know, I could have booleaned this and then properly modelled it into the actual side of into this, and then I guess I would have to high poly it, but this is where I'm at. So I'm going to move. So what I'm probably going to do is model one more thing, hopefully on stream. So that'll be 2 assets done, or 3 if you count that as a separate one. Yeah, I'll model this small chest, and then I think I'm going to go for a drink, and then I'll be unwrapping later. Because unwrapping, nobody wants to watch that, do they? If nobody wants to do it, nobody wants to watch it. Although, what I will mention is if you guys are Blender users and such, is sort of the way that I went about unwrapping it, I think, real quick. Let's save this. Let's go to UV editing. You can see, well, so you can see on the left, on the right here, I've got UV Packmaster 2. I highly recommend it. Saves me a lot of time. And I've got some other stuff like texel density checker and object renamer, you know, which is going to help with high poly baking, which, as I say, I'm not going to do, but UV Packmaster, basically, if I select all this sort of stuff, then what you'd see is it's, you know, it's a defined section of, you know, this whole top section is sort of specifically selected bits, and I've got it on vertex at the moment, so yeah, these were just a selection of different bits that I could then, you just hit pack and it'll pack it into a little space, and then and also if I had some, and you want to disable like post scaling, so that then when I pack this, you'll see that it's giving me like a little block, and I'll just pack everything separately. And I'll disable rotation because then it allows me to because for something so specific like wood, you want all the wood grain going in the same direction. So, you know, everything in mine has to point upwards. Everything has to point upwards. So when I'm unwrapping, I definitely don't want. Oh my god, I can't get rid of that annotation now. But when I'm when I'm unwrapping, I definitely don't want to have to rotate everything. So as you can see, I can disable the rotations, and then the final thing is, if I've got all this stuff separate and I can't, you know, and it's all over the place, then you can really easily fill the gaps with this as well by just hitting pack to others. So I can hit pack now, oh yeah, and turn off that, and then just hit pack to others with this, and it'll search, it's giving me an error here saying there's not enough space, But if this was like, if this was all slightly smaller, some of it's up here, grab that, and basically it's just really helpful to just go pack to others, and it'll just move everything into a position that it thinks suits it best, and see it's just filling in all those gaps, and then that's how I filled out that space, specifically to where I was, which thankfully I could reverse to, although I did save beforehand. I'll just reload it anyway. So yeah, just wanted to talk about unwrapping for a second there, but that's going to be annoying to unwrap, but yeah, there we go. Okay, desk, chest. So I'm going to go back into Unreal for a moment. It's gonna stutter. Yeah, you want to fill up the space as best as possible. Just that UV Pack Master thing just really helps, because you can disable. It's just disabling the rotations and all that. It just really helps. Let's just check what my fans are doing on my cooler. Sure, because it doesn't sound like they're doing as much work as perhaps. Because it's very warm. Alright, so yes, I'm aware Unreal's going to stutter right now. Basically on your screen, on the YouTube video, it's not going to look buttery smooth, it's going to look all stuttery. But for me, it is all good. So I'm not going to be in there too long. I'm just gonna export this desk into it. I'm gonna just oh no, yeah, I can do that. Smart UV project. So that's I'm just doing that real quick. See, now it's filled out the space. I'm just doing a smart UV project, so I can do that. And it's mirrored anyway, so it's just going to mess everything up. But and then I'm going to export this into my props. As you can see, it is terribly unorganized. Everything was put into this section here. Yes, I still haven't done the feet on the friggin' desks. I haven't done the feet yet. Oh, there you go, it's facing the wrong way. And all that detail that I put into it. All that detail, all that time modelling, for what? I think that's going to look pretty cool. You know, when you brighten the place up a little bit, and a bit. Yeah. Just keeping things natural lighting. Yes, so I've still not done the feet on it. Right, I think I'll do the feet real quick. See what's going on. Let's close that. What do I call them? Is it feet? Little feet. I can't see any reference to can't see any reference to the feet that I'm imagining on, you know, in my head, based on the silhouette that you can see here. I can't see an exact reference. Let's get Bledner back up. Let's see. So I'm not very far off the floor. I'm going to want to bring it just a little bit high. Well, that's going to be way too high. Multi-object editing. So one of the best features in Blender 2.8 is just the multiple object editing. Like right now, I don't need to worry about anything. I can just move up that bottom line and shrink this whole thing. So I'm shrinking the desk really, really easily. Maybe a little bit too easy. Save real quick. Just think about what I want to do. I think it's literally just going to be like a beam underneath it. I think I'll finally use that curve. Desk curve. Oops. Desk curve. So it's got things in the right position. I'm going to convert it back to a mesh, and I'm going to just isolate it. And I don't know how far back in I went. Let's have a look. But I just eyeballed it. I went all the way back to the start, did I? Went back to the origin. So I think that was just a complete accident. Let's get those vertices and bevel the vertices a little bit. Desk curve. Oop. Back to a curve, and then I'm going to put the cursor back to world origin and get a cube. I'm gonna scale it until it fits this gap. This. And just gonna desk curve. Desk curve. Right. Got a lot of detail in there. Whoa. Okay, just go around quite. Oh, no. I know, is that gonna be weird? Is that gonna be no good? Should probably just duplicate that before I... Oh! Artstation noise. Now I'm gonna have to be really annoying. I only did it for the shape. Uh-oh. Well, this is going to be annoying. I thought it would just be easier to do it like that because then I've got the exact, you know, I could just use the desk curve in general. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. Let's get the desk curve. Desk curve. Mesh. Gonna duplicate it just in case. And let's put that directly to 0, 0, 0. What? Goes back to the pivot point. I did not. I thought, oh yeah, that's local. Okay, I wanted global, but okay, it's all good. Let's bring that inwards, bring it back out. Just check the normals are good. Bring it back out. Works. I think this is going to be a tiny bit annoying. So what I want is to, let's mirror just like before. Bisect. And I guess bring that up, and right here, I'll take an extra bit, just do 2 of those, scale them inwards. And bring that down. Down to 0. Just bring that back up a little bit so we've got more even. And then it should be a case of see what happens with bevel. And that's not exactly how I imagined it. So, because it's just, I'm doing this out of memory really, there's no reference. I've just done some this needs to be is that goes upwards, needs to be, and that goes upwards, and this goes. So really it should be to a pinch, so it doesn't really need 4 segments, and those ones don't need to be, wait, so is that what I just did? No, that's wrong. How am I picturing this? Basically it goes, it's like they're curved inwards, so really it's these that need to go downwards, and plant that. Oops. And it needs to go, yeah, like that. And half of them aren't really needed. Oh yeah, they are. Those ones are. That one isn't. That one isn't. Let's get rid of those as well. And some random things. This doesn't look right at all. That looks completely wrong. I mean, that bit's sort of how it's meant to be. It's more like, instead of beveling those bits, it's like beveling those bits. Just really bevel them both. Both those bits. It's the same for those. Just flows. X. How far are we dragging it? About 0.5. Oops. 0.05. Minus 0.05, that doesn't look the same. Yeah. Eek. It should be spread out. So if I just, I'm just going to send it crazy. Really, there should be a ton of them all over the place. Let's have a look. So X, if I move that complete to 0, and that should be an exact mirror. Get it active and snap that to edge. There we go. And then what I can do is just snap that to vertices. Vertex. On closest. So I might only have time to do these feet rather than do the other desk on stream. You know how it is. This could be really annoying. Really annoying to join together. So annoying that I might not even bother, but then there'll be some Z fighting. And what I don't want is Z fighting. Dead fighting. Dead fighting. No, it's just fine. I mean, they usually put this sort of thing on the corner, probably. You definitely want a little something on the corners. Let me fix this up. So it should be. Okay. So I think I'll just take the front of it. Just take that for the back. If I just take that, move it. That edge, extrude to that edge. That should be a lot more even than the front one. And all I've got to do is line these up. So. Okay. So that doesn't need to be there. That doesn't need to be there. Let's just select this for a moment. Oh god, I've joined them. Oh jeez. Okay, let's hide that for a moment. Let's just delete that one, it wasn't very good. This one's going to be a lot more neat. A lot easier to join to... join it to the beam a lot easier. Basically they're not needed. And they're not needed. Not needed. Delete, delete, delete. Delete, delete, delete. I'm sure someone knows what I'm talking about. Delete, delete, delete. And now just hide this. And delete, 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 delete. So now that fits perfectly in line with the other. So much so that I realised I could have done that 1,000 times easier. If only I had just cut it off just a little bit later. So I get these and I scale them by, make sure that they're flat. Then this whole thing can be duplicated and put to 0 on the X. Oh yeah, because now it's not even anymore. Well, I mind that. And then I just need to get this along to there. And that side doesn't matter. Yeah, it does need. No, it doesn't. Nice. 10 vertices though. Removed 10 vertices, that does not sound right. So I removed doubles and it removed 10 vertices. I guess I'll just ignore it. No one is going to care, and the only reason I'm doing this is I want a tiny bit of light to be coming underneath the underneath this desk, and sensibly I should fill in the bottom of this as well with something, which I'll do in a minute. Just put a plane underneath it. Oh, I've still got that curve. Still got desk curve, which is a mesh at the moment, so let's fill that in and have the normals facing the right way. So let's just put on back face culling and yeah, was it Alt N? Flip. Alt N for the normal options, and now I see that that is all messed up. Sort those normals out. Really nearly there. Really nearly, almost done it. Oh. Everything. Let's just hide that for a moment. Remove all these. Unhide that. Not bothered about that left side, it just needs to match up on this side. And then what if I just grab that and I remove doubles? 2. It's not right. So let's turn up the distance. I think I'll just do it again. Ooh. 300. It's not right. Let's just up the distance a little bit now. And 11 got removed. Sounds about right. Okay, and now here's the more lazy bit. For my last trick, I'm going to be stealing steal the feet off this thing. Stealing is fine. Stolen. Nice and easy. I'm going to put them on the corners. Not sure if it'd be every corner, but... And you might notice it's not an exact circle. It's okay. Okay. And what I definitely should do is do a little bit better than that. At that point, let's join them. Join them up. And I can't believe, oh yeah, I can believe. Well, I mean, it's almost the right height. I mean, I was going to say I couldn't believe that it lines up with the floor, but of course it does, because they lined up with the floor on that thing. It's just that the height lines up, which is just a product of good planning. So mirroring the object, and now I have a lot of feet. A lot of feet. I'm going to test it on Unreal one more time just to see. I should really end this stream now. It's 6 o'clock. I think I've been on for, I don't know, how can I tell? I can't see how long I've been on for. Oh yeah, I can. 2 hours. 2 hours is good. And then, I don't know, see if I come back tomorrow and I'll model the chest. Okay, let's import that again. Does Unreal still stutter? I shall be testing. Okay, that's re-imported. And I cannot see any reflections coming out underneath it. Hit him with the secret weapon. Alright, well I'll see if it's stuttering on the stream real quick. I'm going to zoom this way. It's buttery smooth for me. Yeah, I think it's stuttering on the stream. Not as bad as it was. It's all good for me. Okay, so unwrapping that's going to be a nightmare. Let's tank my frame rate, probably destroy the stream a little bit there. Let's have a look. Ooh. Ah. Meh, you can't see any reflections coming on underneath it. Not quite like what I thought you would. No light. Just pitch black. I'm not convinced that it's actually above surface. So how far would I have to move it up? I think I will move it up. Try and get some when it's baked, because the ambient occlusion underneath there is so strong. Let's just go to ambient occlusion. Oh yeah. Turned up to 100%, didn't I? Alright, that's a little bit better. Move that back down. Okay, I think the stream doesn't like it in Unreal. So thanks everyone that got involved, and that's more people than I've ever, that's a lot of people that were commenting today. So cheers for watching the stream. Hopefully it was useful to people. I was really just messing around and getting things done as quick as possible, but I think it turned out pretty good for just 2 hours. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next stream, possibly tomorrow.